Cabo San Lucas. Known for its beautiful beaches, Cabo is one of Mexico's top 5 tourist destinations.
And since it's both of our birthdays, we had to go to the best resort in the country, the Waldorf Astoria Pedregal. Forbes named it one of the finest 5-star properties in the world.
We upgraded it to a villa.
The staff gave us drinks, and they even upgraded us to a villa. Look how fire this lobby is.
Then they pulled up on us with the golf carts.
The limo is ready.
We threw our bags in and dipped like salsa. You're in paradise. We walked through the door and were immediately blown away. The villa was ridiculous.
Nah, a couch in the bathroom?
Look at this shower.
The views and vibes were amazing. A team of private chefs cooked up some fish ceviche and even comped us some Class Azul tequila. It's complimentary. Oh, very nice.
Done. We are honored to celebrate with you this special occasion. We wish you the very best on this year to come and much success.
You guys are doing a great job.
Man.
You know how hungry you are on travel day when you get to your room. We had chicken and beef fajitas and shrimp tacos.
That's some shit. I'm already drunk. Only 2 tacos in, I'm turned up.
I don't know about you, but the only thing I want more than sleep after eating is a good rub down. Oh my God, this is so cool. Yes. So we had some massage therapists come through and they put hands on us. In a good way though. The massage was incredible.
The day wasn't over. The private chefs pulled back up at night and made grilled shrimp, organic vegetables, ribeye, and San Carlos lobster tail with a side of mashed potatoes and a mixed green salad. And then this bluefin tuna steak, which was weak. Everything else was top tier though. And of course, it's Mexico, so the tequila was flowing all day and all night. Ole.
The next morning, we went out to explore the resort grounds. Beautiful fountains, coffee shops, spas, infinity pools, and restaurants were all within a 5-minute walk of the room.
We went to Don Manuel's to get some breakfast. We started with an acai bowl with goji berries and, of course, some margaritas. Persephone got the steak and eggs. I ordered the breakfast burrito. You can tell by our face, it was fuego.
Exotica. Exotica. Enter the world of Exotica. Be a disciple of Exotica. 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 Enter the world of Exotica.
Welcome to Pikachu Adventures, Los Cabos, Cabo San Lucas, Baja California Sur.
We ventured off the premises of the resort to Pikachu Adventures to ride some ATV four-wheelers. We saw wild horses and donkeys. There was all types of ass on this ride.
How you feeling? You know what I'm saying? Patrick Impossible.
After a long drive through the beaches of Mexico, we were hungry. And that was perfect because we had birthday dinner reservations. I definitely dressed for the occasion.
I, on the other hand, was not aware. Look how regular I pulled up. But I found a passable vibe for the night, though. Check me out. What you think? No?
The restaurant was El Farallon, which was located right on the cliffs of the beautiful resort's beaches.
Oh my god.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Susan. Happy birthday to you.
Like that? Muy bien. Well, the things we have in front of the blackboard is our main course options. Everything is local and fresh.
We had shrimp and steak surf and turf with wild mushroom risotto and grilled asparagus. We also ordered the lobster tail with sweet potato puree and more grilled asparagus. Of course, we also ordered some more margaritas. The next morning, we linked up with Brothers Charters and rented a private yacht called Breakin' Rules.
Deep and wide.
We are on the yacht. Yachtata.
Yeah.
Our awesome captain served us some tasty shrimp ceviche to enjoy on our time at sea. We also got chicken and shrimp fajitas. And of course, more tequila.
After a day on the water, it was time for some much-needed R&R.
Hello. Oh, nice. Thank you.
We walked down to the Waldorf Astoria spa to get rejuvenated. After some much-needed time at the spa, the last thing on the itinerary was a beautiful private dinner on the beaches of Cabo San Lucas. Thanks. They served us an array of dishes along with delicious drinks and, of course, a view that could not be beat.
Sadly, it was now time to say adios to the Waldorf Astoria Pedregal. But they didn't let us go without a parting gift. The Waldorf employees escorted us all the way to the airport gates and saw that we got in. We hung out in the VIP lounge until it was time for us to board our flight home. Until next time, Cabo, keep your bags packed.
All right, guys, so that was the first episode of the We Trippin' summer season. We hope you liked it.
Yeah, we're here at the We Trippin headquarters, and we're going to talk about some of our favorite food and activities from Cabo, as well as some travel safety. But before we get into that, Pat, why don't you tell them what We Trippin is and how it came to be?
So We Trippin is a travel show, and honestly, we both have always wanted to be a part of some type of travel show. This concept was built around the fact that a lot of elderly people at the end of their lives are asked, you know, what did they regret in their lives? What did they wish they did more of? And a lot of them say the same thing. It doesn't matter what their race is, their cultural background. A lot of them say that they wish that they traveled more. They wish that they saw more of the world. And I thought about it and I figured it out. I think that the reason why a lot of people don't travel is because we make it this huge thing in our head, you know? We make it this huge event. I want to go see the pyramids, the Great Wall of China, Italy, the Eiffel Tower. And what that does is it makes it this big, expensive trip that you need a lot of money and a lot of time for. And if you sit around waiting for that time and money, you could look up and be an old person, you know what I mean? And you finally get the time to go out to these places. You don't know how to travel. You don't know about the jet lag, the time zone differences. Now you sleep on a gondola.
Yeah, I've seen
knocked out.
I've seen, some elderly people's bucket list, and it says start traveling.
Right.
So it's like, wow, your whole life you've just been working, and you haven't really gotten a chance to see what's really out there. Because I am so excited to be traveling now and getting that going. Sometimes when you're going on vacation or you want to go out, sometimes just that long flight is just like grueling.
Right.
But if you know that you're going to be somewhere
quick
within
2 hours, quick hour,
and you're going to see some of the most amazing things that you've ever seen in your life, like that to me is worth it.
And that's the compromise, right? We live in California. We are seeing what the rest of the United States is about. If you live in Brazil, you got all of South America. If you live in London, you got all of Europe. So I think the point of We Trippin is to see what's in your backyard first, to really just, before spending all the time and the money in the world to go across the ocean and to go to all these crazy places. Man, what's Montana talking about? What they doing in Maine?
What's crazy is we have all this space exploration, looking for other planets, looking to see what it looks like. But to be honest with you,
we don't know our own.
Some places in Utah and Wyoming and Idaho, some of those don't look like of this world.
And they're gorgeous.
They're amazing, but it really feels like you're on another planet.
How could you skip ahead to all of this crazy stuff that's 25 hours away when you can start at the places around you?
It's something that's kind of funny when we talk about it, is that we've noticed a few times that we've gone some of these places where Black people don't really frequent. People will recognize us from the airport. We'll be in a restaurant and they'll be like, hey, we saw you in the airport. So that lets me know, it's not too many Black people walking around.
There's people coming up to us like, you here too? You know what I mean? And it's really, really cool, to experience places like that. But at the same time, we got to make sure that if we are on camera doing these experiences, telling you guys at home to also come to these places, we're going to do our due diligence to make sure that these places are safe for travelers and travelers of color and women, because that's a big part of traveling. Absolutely. Is the safety. Where are you going? So we've definitely accumulated a list of travel tips and safety guidelines to tell you about in Cabo. But before we do that, let's talk about our favorite foods and experiences in Cabo, because I feel like we're going to be doing that at the end of every episode, so that by the end of the season we can pit all these meals and activities against each other and see what was our best food and best event of the whole summer season.
Look, you can look at me and tell that I like to eat.
Okay. The thickness.
So if we get into the thickness is thickened. Okay, so if we gonna get into food from Cabo, I just have to say it was crazy. He and I, we have like little competitions. It's like little unspoken competitions on who can order the best foods. And most of the time I win. However, this time I gotta give it to him. My favorite thing that I tasted, because I didn't even get this whole meal because it wasn't mine. It was actually yours. Okay. And it was the chorizo burrito that you had in the morning.
Don Manuel's.
At Don Manuel's. Yep. Oh my God. That burrito was so good. And y'all could tell, y'all saw the episode, so you saw how he was really tearing that burrito up.
You could tell by looking at the food that I chose the better one also.
You did choose the better one, so I'm going to give you that on this trip. Yeah.
I think my favorite food on the trip was definitely when the private chefs came back on day one to give us dinner. Now, they gave us the shrimp, the steak, the lobster, the tuna. Wasn't that great, but
the tuna wasn't your favorite?
I was so good that I actually tapped out early because I was so full.
Yeah,
and we're gonna be giving all types of traveler hacks and all that stuff. If you decide to go somewhere and splurge and get the private chef, this is my second time in Cabo and my second mistake doing this. If you decide to go with the private chefs, just get one a day.
Although I paced myself, or maybe I was just big hungry. I don't know, but I ate everything that they gave us. It was so good. And then just the fact that it was so fresh, you know, it was right there. It was literally cooked 10 feet away from us on our balcony.
All right, so the events, the activities, the adventure, we got to rate that too. You know, Cabo was filled with all types of activities. This was a very, very active trip. You know, we did all the food, we did all the relaxation, we did all the luxury, and we did all the adventure. What was your favorite activity of the trip?
Okay, so I'm a little softy, you know, so as much as you would think like my favorite activity would be something like super active, it wasn't. It was actually the private beach dinner.
Okay.
Closer towards the end of our trip. It was just, everything was perfect. It aligned how it was supposed to align. You know, we were the only ones who had a table on the beach. I know that speaks to the privacy, but literally no other table, not even 10 feet away, not 20 feet away. The weather, absolutely amazing.
Perfect.
It was like a warm wind. Because I had on this skimpy little dress. It was classy, but it was still skimpy, you know. So I was a little afraid that my headlights might show, but they didn't because the wind was warm. And then, you know, it was a sunset dinner. So it was around the time that the tides kind of start getting a little bit higher.
Right.
So it's pushing that air towards you. And it was fresh because it's a really secluded resort. So the only thing, you couldn't see the sunset from the other side of the resort, but you still got to experience the effects. So it was just, and then all the food was really good. So having a private beach dinner is not something that I've ever experienced.
Right.
So, you know, everything that we had was amazing. The vibes, the food, the vibes, everything was just top 10, not 10. It was number 1, period.
I would have to just be a guy and say that my favorite activity was by far the ATVs. I mean, come on. We took a short trip outside the resort, hit these ATVs. You know, it's Mexico. They got bars and stuff like that. You can get a little right first, and then you get a whole ATV trip. It was amazing. You're basically driving around the beaches of Mexico. There's all types of random structures you're looking at, like, you know, you're just like, what's going on here? There's wildlife. There was horses and donkeys and all this kind of stuff. We saw camels. There was a photo op. We went to a beach. We saw some asses. You know, we went to the beach where there was all types of Aquaman level waves hitting up. We took some photos. It was ATVs by far. It was just a good time. Cabo was just a good time. Man. We looked it up, and it seems like the crime there is about a medium. It's about a medium, so you don't want to be flashing money. You don't want to be wearing all this crazy jewelry, making a scene out of yourself. So although this isn't our first time in Cabo, this is our first time, you know, kind of being secluded to a resort. So if you're not, you know, in a resort and you're kind of out with the locals, just know it's a tourist city. So there's going to be a lot of people on the beaches and stuff trying to sell you stuff. Don't feel pressured. Just, you know, if you don't want to buy anything, just don't be stern. The cartel is out there, so there is violent crime. But in terms of it affecting tourism, the main concerns is pickpocketing and scams. If you set up a taxi service, go through a company like Uber, Lyft, your hotel. Don't just hail one on the street. Keep your head on the swivel. You're in another country, just be safe.
And as far as that's concerned, you can also, before you go, talk to the concierge of your resort or your hotel, wherever you're staying. And so you don't have to just get out there and try to figure out how you're going to get to your place. You can actually set that up ahead of a time.
If you do end up doing a, impromptu ride service, make sure you negotiate the fee ahead of time, because it is known to, you get to your location and then they throw a huge price on you. And that's just overall, places with tourism. Anytime you leave your country, especially if you're American, there's just going to be these little targets on you, know,
because they're going to charge you 3 times as much as they would charge what their their dollar is worth. So whether it's pesos or, that's what I've experienced.
The assault crimes, all that kind of stuff, mugging is relatively low. But at the same time, don't go out at night by yourself and just be safe.
Yeah.
Just be safe.
Great advice.
If you're not sure, staying on a resort is probably the safest option.
It's the best bet.
Because we didn't really have to worry too much.
Our hotel took us to all of our activities too. So it took us to the boat, it took us to Picacho Adventures,
right?
And took us to and from the airport, and went with us to pretty much to our gate to make sure that we got on.
Added perks. Added perks. So yeah, just make sure that you guys stay safe. Stay traveling. Yeah. What's our tag? Keep your bags packed.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys at the next location. This has been We Trippin'. I've been Patrick Cloud.
And I'm Persephone.
Laguna Beach. With more than 30 beaches and coves, Laguna Beach is the spot in California for beach fun, coastal luxury, and a reality TV show that I did not watch because I'm black.
We visited the beautiful Ritz-Carlton Resort in Laguna Niguel, California.
On the club level, you do receive the complimentary meals.
We checked in and they immediately gave us champagne. I guess you spend more money when you're drunk.
The Ritz-Carlton sits atop a cliff with spectacular panoramic views of the Pacific Ocean.
It's really nice.
It is. I really like it.
We drove down to Dana Point because we heard about a seaside cave that you can hike to. We had to check it out. I love a good cave spelunking.
You thought someone was going down?
Sure did. Hey, sweet cheeks.
It's like some peer pressure over there.
Where?
Here.
Jump.
Get it? Peer pressure?
Yeah.
Video.
We hadn't prepared for this walk, so Patrick took his shoes off and quickly regretted that decision.
Sports Illustrated.
Oh, me? No, you.
Come on, that way.
Quit hiking.
This rock hike was approximately a half a mile to the seaside cave. The vibe of it all, though, made the walk very enjoyable.
Yeah, we in the cave, seaside cave.
It was like a walk hop over a ton of an assortment of sizes of rocks and boulders, so it refreshed my memory of how much I hadn't been in the gym. Pull up to the cave side. Had a rig.
When we finally got to the cave, it was even cooler than we imagined. It was like our own hidden beach. I did not know that was gonna happen. I played it cool though.
The cave was so cute and comfy. The double openings allowed for the fresh wind to pass through while the water splashed against the rocks. Sometimes you gotta stop and enjoy the sexiness of it all. And y'all know I have my moments.
After a long day of cave exploring, we were hungry. So we headed back to the Ritz and sat down at Rhea's restaurant with a gorgeous view of the beach.
The restaurant was on the resort property. Rhea is a pan-Latin coastal cuisine dining experience. I had to say that like my pinky's in the air.
This guy is going nuts. We started off with some honey miso Brussels sprouts and some smoked swordfish dip.
Thank you.
What's on top of?
So that's pickled ginger.
Got
Do
it.
you see how
Okay.
the flakes are moving a little bit?
Oh, wow. Whoa, hang on. That is cool.
Our food was literally moving, but that didn't stop Persephone.
Hey.
The food was phenomenal. The honey miso Brussels sprouts were bussin'. I had to dig in while the food was still dancing.
Tough in there.
The flavor rises. I've never experienced that before. Do you
Fishy hummus
taste
at
it
first.
going like like it gets more intense and then it gets better and then it's like, oh, this is really good.
I see exactly what you're saying. Like a crab dip, but it starts out as hummus.
Right, exactly.
Forbidden rice, the forbidden black rice.
We ordered salmon on top of forbidden rice and curry. I've never seen black rice before.
It's good.
Curry's good. Rice a little hard, but it's black, you know? Black rice be hard.
Does it? How's the best on the plate? No, okay. Rice is hard.
You try the fish?
I like the sauce. I'm about to do that right now. I really like the sauce.
Salmon's really good, right?
Perfectly cooked. Scallops with pork belly. Everything hit. Boy, boy, boy.
Thumbs up.
We checked out the spa/lounge area, and it was filled with showers, purifying salts, and steam rooms.
Got the s'mores kit. Please enjoy this s'mores kit. That's pretty much what they said. Got the shtick, the graham cracker, the chocolate in there, the marshmallows pre-packaged. It's a nice touch.
The s'mores kit was a nice touch to go along with the fire pit, but the real treat was the charcuterie board with artisan cheeses, chef selection meats, fruits, and more. sunset and the sky looked incredible from the yard.
I didn't last too much longer after we got back to the room, but I had to take in the fire pit. It was so amazing that I slept next to it.
Our experience at Laguna Beach Ritz-Carlton was so relaxing, we pulled back up a few weeks later to enjoy lunch with these unmatched views.
We ate at 180 Blue, which is a cliffside, outdoor oceanfront dining lounge. The view was almost too much to handle.
There are a lot of people in this water.
We started with the ceviche tasting that included sea bass, ahi tuna, and plantains. Then we ordered some small plates, Korean fried chicken wings, and some steak tacos with avocado and mozzarella. It was tasty.
That chicken I had was so good, I wanted to fight the chef. Korean fried barbecue wings.
How is everything over here?
So good.
Beautiful.
These are so good.
Good for you to enjoy.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Overall, Laguna Beach was a beautiful and surprisingly adventurous getaway that everyone in California should stop by at least once this summer.
Thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure, guys.
Thank you so much, man.
Okay. Everything was amazing. This definitely won't be the last time this establishment sees my face. Until then, keep your bags packed. All right, y'all, that was We Trippin' in Laguna Niguel.
Laguna, the only place that we've gone to twice so far.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it's because it might be the closest to Los Angeles that we've done all year.
It is, and it's low-key a little hideaway for me.
Okay, so you've been doing this. You've been We Trippin'.
I've been to this place before, but I haven't experienced it like we experienced it.
Okay. I am not one who just goes to places like the Ritz-Carlton a lot. I think aside from this trip, I may have gone to the Ritz like once.
Mm-hmm.
I stole a
robe?
so I do have a Ritz robe.
Okay.
Don't deserve it.
Ghetto.
Still very happy I have it.
The quality is
fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic. Shout out to the Ritz. I don't normally do stuff like this. This was a very cool experience for me. I think that this was definitely a food trip.
Yes.
You know, our We Trippin' experiences are separated into adventure and food.
Mm-hmm.
And this was definitely food first. The views, immaculate. I mean, all of them. Every restaurant we went to, our room, it was just fantastic.
Because if you look at the actual spacing or how the hotel sits,
Mm-hmm.
it sits alongside a cliff off of the Pacific Ocean. So pretty much almost anywhere you go on that property, you're going to have a beautiful view
Yep.
of the ocean.
You're going to see all the white people in the ocean.
which just, I mean, that's just how it is.
They also let me tell you
They
how
was
like
swimming and swimming and surfing.
let me tell you how like this is. They have carts that will take you to the beach from
Really?
the hotel. Yes,
Why didn't we do that?
because we tripping.
We tripping. Big tripping. I mean, like we said, it was more of a food trip. The food was delicious. I already know what you picked because
Absolutely.
this was one of 2 times in the whole year that you went back to a restaurant and ordered the same thing. So I already know what she got. So I'm gonna go first. My favorite meal of Laguna Beach was probably the swordfish dip.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the dip that really played the piano on your taste buds.
It was a lot. I always appreciate eating something that's good and different. When we travel, we still eat what's on our palate. We just want to know how good the food is in that city.
We step out slightly of our comfort.
Like Laguna. Swordfish dip ain't on my menu all the time. I don't even go places that serve that.
Right.
But the texture, all of the random tastes you saw in the video, I was like, man, it starts off one way, but it has a hint of hummus.
Hey, the
was
food
very
is
cool.
good if he got a little dance.
If you got like a
going. It's
little
like, hey.
elaboration thing, yeah, the swordfish dip, it was not only tasty, but it was a conversation piece. I could say I dipped my chip in a swordfish, and I enjoyed it, which is more points.
Now, let me tell you, my favorite is the honey glazed Brussels sprouts, the miso.
I was about to say, don't leave out the miso.
Miso glazed
with the
Brussels sprouts.
With the dancing flakes.
With the dancing, what was it, dancing ginger?
It was like a ginger something.
I think it was dancing ginger.
Ginger flakes.
Now, I didn't mind. Usually, if food is moving, I stay away from it. But in this case,
it helped that the part that was moving was never alive.
Right.
If it was like a piece of fish that was like, I'd be like, take this back.
Oh, when I tell you those Brussels sprouts just so melted in my mouth and just slid down my throat.
And Brussels sprouts are hit or miss too.
Yeah.
But this was like a sushi fusion. It had the miso, the ginger. It had a lot. And you were there the next day, like, bring me the same server, same chef, same dish.
Absolutely. I mean, it's to the point where it's become a problem for me.
Oh.
Because every time I watch the episode, I want to drive to Laguna and get the Brussels sprouts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this addiction goes way far past our production.
I am trying to figure out how to make them myself.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Then you won't have to be a crackhead pulling up at the Ritz front door like, you got any miso Brussels? Come on, baby.
I'm pulling up.
Well, okay, let's put that on the boards because at the end of every season we are gonna have a season recap.
Yeah.
Where we talk about the best foods we had that season and we figure out what the best dish overall is, the best experience overall is. It's gonna be interesting to see where that ranks since your level of love for these miso Brussels.
Smacking.
But speaking of the food and experiences, let's move on to experiences. This trip was more on the food and relaxing side. We didn't do a lot of adventures, but I mean, we went spelunking. That's crazy. That's crazy to come back from a trip and be like, we didn't do that much. We just went cave exploring.
Absolutely.
But we did a lot of other things. One thing that wasn't really in the video was the massages we got. Yes. When we went to the spa, we saw the salts and the saunas and all that. But there was a point where you had to kind of put all your stuff in the locker before you can keep going.
I'm gonna tell you, I said in the video that my legs felt like noodles. I was exhausted by the time we got to the spa.
Oh, that's
so
spelunking.
Pardon me for not getting video of us at the spa.
Well, no, you got the video in the women's lounge, and the women's lounge was, I don't know if you noticed, a lot better than the men's, but that's just usually how it is. There was a point in time where they were like, put all your stuff in this locker and come through with nothing,
Yeah.
just the robes. So I don't know how they would have accepted phones.
Right.
But I think we were just so tired and stuff. We were just like, man, just just rub on me. You feel
Right.
me? So we got our masseuses. My masseuse was perfect because she told me, when I have a full body massage, a lot of times I'll tell them, don't worry about the legs, don't worry about my butt. That's ticklish anyways.
You don't want your butt massage?
I tell them all the time, focus on my neck, shoulders, and back.
Okay.
If you could spend the whole time there, that's fine. And she was like, it turns out I'm a neck and shoulder specialist. Now that I say that back, that could have been a lie, but who knows?
Right.
She massaged under my armpits.
Yeah.
And she was like, do you sleep on your side? I said, exclusively. I always sleep on my side.
Right.
And I didn't even realize until that moment that must be stress on the muscles. So she did this weird thing under my armpits. It hurt the whole time. But afterwards, I felt like a new man.
Very nice.
New man. So my best experience, my favorite experience in Laguna Beach was the Ritz-Carlton massage.
I enjoyed my massage too. However,
You don't be getting good masseuses as me though.
I don't, and that's so true because I have a little rating system. So if my massage doesn't almost make me feel like I'm gonna climax, then for me
It's got to get a little exciting for you, huh?
yeah, it's just mid. And so my massage therapist definitely was experienced. She did a great job.
But didn't make you
However,
moist.
It did.
Just go ahead and say it.
It didn't juice up my watermelon.
The juices weren't flowing.
No, they weren't. So speaking of juices flowing, my favorite is the spelunking.
Why is that? Speaking of juices flowing.
Water flowing on the rocks.
The ocean is not juice.
Hey, ocean juice.
If a wave hits your leg, you cannot say, I have juice on my leg.
Ocean juice. Ocean juice.
Sounds like a good product.
Ocean spray. So yes, the cave exploration is where it was at.
Fire.
When I tell you. Now, getting to the cave,
it was a hike.
It was a bit of a hike and
fun hike.
walking on rocks the whole time.
It's a fun hike.
But it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the walk to, there was an assortment of, it was just so many different size rocks and so much to do. I mean, and there weren't that many people.
That was a big thing. You know, we didn't show it really in the video, but there was a little line there. You know, for a random cave on the beach.
Right.
It had some publicity, let's say that. So we had to kind of chill until the people in there were done. We went in there.
Yeah, but for something that beautiful, you would think that it would be a little more popular. Yeah.
Right.
So we only had to wait for like maybe 2 couples to leave out before we could have the cave to ourselves. And so it was just it was a small cave, but it had a double opening and it was just like,
I don't know, that cave was pretty big to me. When people say cave, it seems like they're so excited to say cave that you get there and you're like, wow, this is really like a inlet. If anything, it'll be just like a little, a little cove, a little whatever, a little
I just
pocket.
mean there wasn't too many places to go inside of the cave.
Right, but it was a cave.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was absolutely breathtaking.
Very
And my favorite part was when you got splashed.
Ah.
He was sitting there. Y'all saw how he was sitting there, not paying attention, think he a little model.
I played
Sitting
it
there
off,
like,
though.
"Look, got splashed." You did.
The rest of my day was shot, though. Rest of my day was shot after
Hey,
that.
he sounded like SpongeBob walking. His shoes,
A little
was
squishy.
just like. But no, it puts you in another mindset when you're in something like that not everybody gets to see.
Yeah.
Especially because even though yes, it's on Google Maps or whatnot, but who knows to go be like, oh, there's a cave in Dana Point.
Right.
We didn't find out, and we did our investigation. We did our exploration for our itinerary, and we didn't see that cave. We saw all the coves, but we didn't see the cave until we spoke to someone who was native to the area, who's if you don't know, you have to go there. So, just the whole walk there was amazing. So that
it was dope. Yeah, and I think that it almost makes you want to comb the beaches of your own hometown to see if there's any cool spots like that, because it was just really one of those things you had to know about or had to learn about from the locals. I mean, you're gonna see in We Trippin that we have certain things that we're looking for Coves and caves, definitely one of them.
For sure.
I
I didn't even know I liked caves until we started doing We Trippin.
There's a lot of things. Her obsession with fire pits and waterfalls is going to be a thing this season. My obsession with lighthouses is a big part of everything. And, you know,
sailboats.
And sailboats. Oh, you guys are going to see. You guys might even want to do a sailboat counter or a seaplane counter. Because every time there's a sailboat or a seaplane, I'm filming it. That was pretty much our Laguna experience in terms of food and activities. Safety rating. I looked up some places that damn near didn't even have a safety rating for Laguna. If you even know what Laguna Beach is or have even seen clips of it, you should know you're good there.
Yeah.
It's barely any crime. If anything, there may be a crime with theft, but it's very low. It's a very affluent city. If you're a person of color, it's gonna be like any other rich white area. It's not necessarily dangerous, but you know, it's almost like a Malibu. You know, it's a lot of rich.
We didn't see too many of us.
Yeah,
there.
You might get some weird looks. You know,
but the people, everybody we interacted with,
we had a great time.
They were really nice. They were really cordial. They were really respectful. They were really informative. Like everybody from the people who serviced us to just people that we met, valet, you know, everybody that we spoke with, that I feel was very respectful.
It was very chill. So the danger rating is very, very, very low. Laguna, you should be okay in. Like Steph said, we were in the minority in ethnicity and age. You know, we were the youngest people in a lot of these situations too, which will also get you some weird looks. But I mean, you know, if you're a minority, you're used to all this stuff. You're really just worried about the danger. So if you're if you want to come to Laguna, you good out there, my boy or girl.
I was blinded by the views. Okay, I didn't look at nobody looking at me.
And that's usually how it is.
Yeah.
But yes, this has been another episode of We Trippin' Summer Season. This has been Laguna Beach. And we will see you at the next location.
I'm Persephone.
I'm Patrick Cloud.
Bye.
Later, guys. Santa Catalina Island. Just 22 miles off the coast of Southern California, a quick ferry trip can take you to a small getaway that feels like it's on the other side of the world. Using golf carts to get around, we started the day off at Catalina Aerial Adventures, a treetop obstacle course up in the canopies of the island.
First thing first, just go ahead and step 1 foot into each of those holes you see in front of you. Try not to step on any straps or anything.
What's that?
Spider purse. That's what you get for underestimating the beginners.
And don't be scared.
You ain't scared.
No, you ain't scared. Well, let me see what you got then.
We're at this adventure course. I'm killing it. She is not.
Jump! Don't be scared, just do it.
The harness wasn't too friendly on the old Jules. Now, I personally passed the black diamond level,
But Persephone, on the other hand, was having some trouble.
You're not gonna grab the log itself? Okay. Come on. Steve Jobs, push through. You look drunk. We get up, we fall down, but we get up. Come on sturdy grounds right here. Sturdy ground. Yeah! Come on. No way! No way! Hey!
I have no idea how that even happened, but she fell out of that tree like a pine cone.
Hey, how do you take back claps? Can you guys take back all them claps? Update, she's being airlifted out. We got Channel 5 here. It's about to be lowered like some supplies.
I was doing good until I had to be rescued.
Hey, you look how...
I had them lower me down like a fry into some ketchup.
Hey, this is how they feed dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. No, but you look like you're about to be fed to a T-Rex.
What you doing, sir?
Some shotticulus.
We headed back to the hotel just in time for the best part of the trip. My longtime friends K-Rudd and Lonnie Rowe pulled up to the island just to chill with us. The first ever guests on We Trippin. Man, I was too hyped.
What up? What Drinks up. We already rolling. Hey.
We went down to Crescent Beach to walk around and grab dinner.
That's right. He had no idea, huh?
No idea. It's like a gazelle in nature.
Ordered some food from a restaurant called the Lobster Trap, got some drinks, and headed back to the room. Everything closes a little early out there. The night was filled with drinks, laughs, games, and good times with friends. Some pranks, too.
Oh, wow. She made it shooting out.
The room was so big. We had 4 bedrooms and 2 balconies. We stayed in to play games and enjoy the fire pit balcony.
We also had a great view of the harbor at night. The next morning, we watched the sunrise on the bay before heading into town for mimosas. Eventually, we ended up at the Descanso Beach Club with a plethora of Patron samplers.
Casa del Monte was built in the 1950s.
We jumped on a wildlife tour of the island to see if we could spot some bison. So random. Apparently, they were brought out there for a Western film, and then the crew just left them. 14 bison then turned into over 100, and now they're just there. Bizarre, right? When we got back to the hotel, we welcomed another one of my longtime friends, Sean Hayes. The boys pulled up to Catalina.
Oh, you got me flowers?
Aw. You like sunflower and shit, right? Yeah, come here. Watch this stuff. Nigga, you heard you like chicken wings?
Yeah, I do like chicken wings.
Chicken wings?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Wings, where's the flowers?
Watch it, hold on.
Hey, my friends are weird, so we give weird gifts.
Here, this is right. Blue Gatorade.
So obviously this is for me.
Pat got some flowers, chicken wings, and a blue Gatorade for his birthday.
Fucking island off of California. It's random as hell, but thank you guys for coming. This shit is cool. I hope this is like the hangout.
A couple things I was gonna say. Oh!
I don't even remember what grade. 6 yet.
Man,
That's stupid.
Oh, it's a video?
It's a video.
We had to go down to the Green Pier and get some fresh fish and chips. We ended up eating here like 3 times this trip. It was so good. We headed down to the Metropole Marketplace where there was arcade games, good food, and live music. K-Rud got really into it. Like really into it. It was getting late, so we jumped on a literal submarine and went out to see how the sea lions hunt flying fish at night.
Oh, it's always a nice night for a boat ride.
Ooh, a gargoyle. A gargoyle.
Flying fish make powerful self-propelled leaps out of the water. The main reason for this behavior is thought to be to escape from underwater predators. The predators we saw in this video are sea lions.
body part.
The next day, we sadly had to get ready to say goodbye to Catalina, but not before a couple of drinks and a quick dip into the ocean. I never swim in the ocean, so you know it was a special trip.
To the winner.
Everybody else.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Everybody else.
Kev, Liz,
Hey.
Yeah. You did it again.
Nigga said $30.
$30 water. And then he just goes home in the second verse. And it's like, play the next song.
Sleeping at the crib.
Play the next song.
Every second verse.
That shit is hard as fuck. That's I got a bitch foot in the
I got an orange tree in my living room.
I got an orange juice and I mix it up with the water. I Fiji water and I got some orange juice.
We jumped back onto the ferry for a 45-minute trip back to Los Angeles. We had such a great time. Until next time, Catalina, keep your bags packed. All right, guys, that was Catalina Island. We are back in the We Trippin headquarters. And yeah, we're going to call this our first carry-on episode because it was tiny, you know. It was very, very quick. And we're going to have a couple of those every season because we have random layovers or a We Trippin episode where we just go to one place. So short and quick, to the point.
And Catalina is very local to Los Angeles, Long Beach. So you can take a jet ski from Long Beach to to Catalina. So it's very local for us.
Very
and people
accessible.
in Southern California. So.
Even if you traveled to LA, it's very easy. The ferry tickets are cheap. We actually learned that there's a school system there, and some of the teachers commute from Long Beach on the ferry. So that should give you an idea of how quick of a trip it is.
Yep.
People take day trips out there. Very lovely getaway.
It is. I had a lot of fun there. And so to jump right into it, let's talk about food.
Okay.
What was your favorite food in Catalina?
Catalina Island has a lot of good food, and my dad took me there when I was a kid.
And I remember, the only thing I remember was the chicken strips. We went on a golf cart, and I had chicken strips, and they were like the best thing in the world to me. That restaurant was closed. That closed since I was a boy. But still has a lot of great food on the island. My favorite had to be the fish and chips on the green pier. It was very aesthetically pleasing to see those bright green colors. The food was delicious. You got to look out at the water. There was a submarine right there. Right. Very cool. We ate there twice.
It was right. It was very good, and it was right in the middle of all the activities. So it's kind of cool to get your food, get your fish and chips, and then and dip off and do whatever you want, because it was kind of like in the middle of the pier. So the fish and chips was really good. I'll give you that. But my favorite was the lobster trap.
Yeah,
so
it's great.
So I had the lobster roll at the lobster trap, and it melted me.
Succulent, decadent.
Yes, so good. Now, if I compare it to, Maine, where lobster is like big out there, it might compete a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, it might compete a little bit. So
I mean, stay tuned for the fall season, because we actually did have a couple of lobster rolls in Maine. I do remember that, and obviously this episode wasn't shot the same exact way as our other episodes. This was the first city that we went to on We Trippin. Right. We didn't really even know that we were shooting a show. Right. So some of this food and the activities we're talking about wasn't on camera, just because we didn't have our style perfected yet. But definitely still a lot of good food that did not make the episode.
For sure.
There was remember that rooftop thing? Was the food good there?
It was lobster bisque. We had a lobster bisque there.
Lobster bisque.
Lobster bisque. It was so yummy. That was in second place for me.
Same. Second shares. Sharing the seconds. Activities. Activity-wise, off rip, the reason why we were out there was what?
No, I was just thinking about me falling.
Oh. Off rip, the reason why we were out there was to celebrate my birthday, and my friends got to pull up. So that was kind of just like the context of the beginning of We Trippin. So activity-wise, it was all over the place. Right. Before we say our favorites, just a quick blurb about the island. It's kind of like older. It's very chill. It's not really like turned up like that.
Right.
So if you do go, just know that things kind of close a little earlier. Like on 8, 9. It's not like things are open till like 2, 4 a.m. It's not really like a Miami type of vibe.
Right. There's, with the exception of a couple of bars, they have some like karaoke bars and stuff like that.
Right.
But outside of that, it closes pretty
very
early.
Chill.
So make sure you got your ride back to your hotel
before
everything closes, because you could not have a ride back from your golf cart.
Yeah. So with all that said, what was your favorite activity?
My favorite activity was the treetop obstacle course.
The Tarzan.
It was so much fun.
That was
some of the obstacles were scarier than when I actually did it, but there was one. Y'all saw I was fighting for my life.
Oh, the planks. She walked the planks and failed. The unathleticism.
Yeah, it was showing me that I needed to do some strength training in the gym.
It was tough. It was a lot harder than it looked. We were sweating.
Yes. But when I fell, I got all the relief I needed, and I just got lowered down like a piece of meat.
And we got all the laughs we needed.
They did.
The crowd was already clapping. And
you made sure they took the claps back.
Man, you let us all down. And then they let you down.
Right. Literally. I was just like,
That was a lot of fun, and I was in them trees. I got to complete all the ones that I started.
You did a good job. You did a great job.
I was in them trees. You hear me? And yeah, that happened right before all the homies pulled up. Shout out to Kev, Lonnie, Sean, and Leslie for even coming out there to hang out with us. I was just so hyped that my friends got to pull up, and it was our even though it was the first thing we shot, it was technically our first guests on We Trippin,
right.
And throughout the year, it's sporadic, but this was definitely the most guest heavy. and it was just really cool for my friends to be up there. So
they're
honestly,
such fun people.
they're so
they
cool.
just really added another
Shout out to them.
Just more character, more color, more fun to our experience there.
I just liked mobbing around with everybody. You know, we were just walking, getting stuff to eat. We went to Crescent Beach, which is kind of a club vibe. It's like, you know, the beach. You have cabanas and drinks and stuff, and a DJ. And, you know, kind of just walking
the Patron
around.
Tower.
The Patron garden. That was really cool. So yeah, I mean, I think that just walking around with them was where I had the most fun. You know, it was just kind of like, because Catalina's a vibe. It's a very small bay that's in the shape of a crescent moon, and there's just bars, restaurants, shops. You know, just a whole, you know, water activities. You can rent boats. There's a bunch of yachts that people just have, I guess.
Yeah, and there was a couple of things that we didn't get to do that we wanted to do. Like I would have done some zip lining,
right?
Or even a ghost tour.
Oh,
so
right.
there's this
We didn't
big
get to do that.
casino. What they call it is a casino-looking building, but it's really a theater, and it once housed the bones of the indigenous people from the island.
That'll do it.
So it's supposedly haunted, and they have like different ghost tours that we didn't get to do, but we love doing ghost tours.
We need to stop building things on native bones. We could save so many a haunting. But yeah, there was a lot of cool things that we didn't get to. You know, you could even kayak to the back of the island where there's like a cooler campground if that's your vibe. Not ours.
No.
I think I would say that my favorite activity was us. It was right after a bar, so you know, feeling a little good. And then we just jumped on a boat and saw seals hunting fly fish.
Yeah. And it was really cool to see them
Super
like
cool.
jump out of the water, like, and they were fast too.
And that's happening every night.
Like you,
Really crazy.
these fish were fighting for their lives,
Man.
every night. And we actually saw a couple get caught. It was pretty sad.
And it's amazing to see them fly, but they're, like you're saying, they're doing that to not get eaten. So they're like, help, help. And we're like, ooh,
right.
It's a great video.
Oh, this is so barbaric.
Hey, seals got to eat. The bison tour. You know, that was probably my least favorite thing on the trip.
Okay.
Just because it's like, it was hard to find them. And then when we found them, it's like, oh.
They were just eating.
There's bison.
They were just standing there
cool.
and just
I forgot.
eating. But they had some nice views.
It was cool. It was definitely a cool trip. And, you know, we got to see what it was like on like inland. You know, I've only been to Crescent Bay, and it was just interesting. The story was behind it, how it, you know, Hollywood Western flew them out there and then just said, leave them, and they started reproducing. It's a very interesting story.
Getting it on.
It's not really like a young, turned up island, you know. Like I said, it closes at 8, so you know, it was a lot of, you know, older people. We met some people that were older, and you know, they were retired, and they said that they love this spot. So I can kind of see why the energy is like that. You know, it's very, very low key. There's no like clubs or anything. So if you're going out there to turn up, it's not really that vibe.
Right.
But I think just the energy that they brought kind of kept that up. You know, even though we were just in the giant room, kind of just turning up, or just
the room
mobbing
was
through
amazing.
the streets.
We have to touch on that a little bit.
Oh yeah,
the room was amazing. We had double balconies with a fire pit.
It was dope. Everybody got to stay together. You know, it was kind of like was it a penthouse?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it was like a
penthouse 4 or 5 bedroom.
Shout out to Zane Gray. Great, probably the nicest hotel. One of the nicest hotel I've seen in California, but definitely the nicest hotel on Catalina Island. But just like turning up with the homies in there, and just like kind of mobbing around Catalina as a whole was my favorite activity, because it was between, you know, Lobster Trap, Descanso Beach Club, which is kind of the closest thing to like a party environment. You know, there's a DJ and a whole bunch of people out there, but it's still not like a Vegas.
Right. They had
cool,
cabanas, with the umbrellas on them. You had to get in where you fit in. But
wasn't no BBLs bouncing, wasn't nobody throwing it back. You know, it was DJing and drinks and beach, but it was still like, it wasn't like on no. You guys know what I mean. And it wasn't on that type of time. So, you know, just kind of doing that with my friends, I would say that is my
we were celebrating your birthday too.
Yeah. So it was good vibes.
It was good vibes.
Good vibes. Okay, so let's speak on the bad vibes. Let's speak on the travel safety and you know, any crime ratings and just our personal experience with crime and I guess, like you said, bad vibes. Listen, you're okay. You will be fine.
Pretty much.
Our personal experience was super chill. I think we almost saw a fight once. Somebody almost got squabbled.
Over a little lady.
Over a lady. That's what they're doing in Catalina Island. But it's pretty much non-existent. We didn't see any issues. Everybody's chill. Everybody's a little older.
And it's not that many people there. I think the island has like a little over 4,000.
So maybe they're getting active in the residential part of the island, but on the Crescent Bay, it was pretty chill. But just to make sure that I was thorough, I looked up Catalina Island crime. Random travel hack: if you look up crime for a city that you're going to visit, do some deep research and get like the statistical websites, because I looked up Catalina Island crime and it says kids are safe to wander the streets. Everyone walks nearly everywhere. The beauty and charm of the surroundings is never ending. And I was like, that was written like an author.
That's one of those everybody sleeps with the door unlocked.
Right. But then I looked at the source, lovecatalina.com. So I had to go a little deeper than that. And so I went to citydata.com and just looked up the crime rate in Avalon, California, which is the official city that Catalina Island has. The 2020 crime rate in Avalon, California is 142, which is 1.8 times lower than the US average. So just for reference, Los Angeles, 327.
My goodness. We active. LA is active.
You would think that Catalina Island would be like 4 though. But you know, I looked up some of the specifics. Murder is pretty much non-existent. There are cases of assaults and robberies and everything, but I don't see a yearly number that's more than 50, really.
And honestly, I've been living in California all my life, and I've never heard of anything happening in Catalina.
Right.
Not to say that it doesn't, but it's just when we think of Catalina, you don't even think about the crime there.
Exactly.
It's not something that we ever really hear about.
So I think it's just safe to say that the rating of Catalina Island would just be low crime. But if you look up the numbers, there are numbers. So don't let the kids roam free or whatever Love Catalina was saying. Make sure you don't leave your stuff anywhere. Be safe. Don't just be walking around at night. But, like we said, it closes pretty early. So I don't think there's issues in places that close early,
right?
Because bad stuff happens at night, right?
There was one travel hack that I wanted to give before we ended.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to just bring up a little travel hack that I looked up. And it has to do with maps and finding your way. So download Google Maps offline. Using an actual map today is obsolete, but many think Google Maps without an internet connection is just as useless. But you must know that no access to Wi-Fi, a patchy network, or throwing away money on data shouldn't be a reason to lose your way, because you can go off grid and still use Google Maps. So just download Google Maps and go to the map area that you want to save, type OK Map, and into the search option, and then press download. You can now use it when you're even in airplane mode. So we do a lot of traveling where it's either a shoddy network or there's nothing at all. And so if you still want to know your way, you can download Google Maps offline.
That's a good hint. Was service spotty over there?
It was. I would say it was moderate.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, that kind of just goes for anywhere, especially like when we're going to places that are more remote, like Alaska. There were a couple times where we were like, the service is kind of, what would you say, shoddy?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good hack.
Yeah.
Well, this has been our first carry-on episode of We Trippin'. We hope you like it. We hope that if you're in California or planning to visit California, you consider Catalina Island a destination now.
Yep.
All right. Well, I've been Patrick Cloud.
And I'm Persephone.
Keep your bags packed. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Miami, Florida. Home of South Beach, hard drugs, and humidity. we checked into the Berkeley Shore, a beautiful hotel with a restaurant that's right in the entrance.
Bienvenido a Miami. Got a corner suite, little balcony.
Our room was such a cool design, and we even had a partial ocean view with a balcony. What's the first thing you want to do after a flight? Food.
We ended up at Pollos and Jarras, a Peruvian restaurant and hookah bar in downtown Miami. We started off with a delicious soup appetizer, and then we got some drinks. We got a shared platter of Peruvian meats, which included steak, rotisserie chicken, chorizo, and veal heart.
This is the heart of all men.
Yep, we ate that heart out. I wouldn't do it again though, because the texture was wild. Everything else tasted amazing.
I ate a heart my first day in Miami. Shoot, I was afraid I would have baby cow nightmares, but luckily I slept peacefully. Sorry, baby cow.
We on the streets of Miami.
We then headed to a spot called Cocktails at Ara for some drinks. We ordered more mojitos, and this time they were passion fruit, one of the most mid fruits ever, but their mojitos are good. We decided to hit South Beach, and it looked exactly like Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I definitely carjacked some fake people on this street.
We wanted a more lively environment, so we headed to Cannoli and got a massive mojito called the Super Champagne Mojito with 2 bottles in it. That was pretty wild. The next day, we were ready for some fun in the sun, so we headed to Strawberry Moon.
The colors and decorations popped out at us, and the vibe felt like it was the 1950s, but in a good way. we decided to have some drinks and a few small snacks. We started with some capitanos and finished with some pied Turkish pizza called the Godfather, a pepperoni pizza with spicy honey.
Kind of like good even when your teeth first touch it. Still eating it with ranch. Hot Cheeto girl vibes.
We also had some hummus with the softest, most delicious bread. The food blew us away.
No way.
Amazing, right?
Right. Oh my God. This is so good.
We found out that Strawberry Moon, as well as the Good Time Hotel that was attached, was started by none other than Pharrell Williams and David Grutman. So the amazing vibes and cool aesthetic immediately made sense. This place was fly. We got some frozen pina coladas at the pool and relaxed a little bit. We had a big day ahead of us.
We then headed to the American Black Film Festival, where The Lesbian Homie 2 was screened. This is a film where I played as the lead female role alongside Big Jaw, who wrote, produced, and directed it. This was such an honor because the festival highlights amazing Black filmmakers, actors, and overall entertainment. We met up with Big Jaw and other cast members and friends to watch the screening.
My name is Johnny Pickett, aka Big Jaw.
Hey friends, I'm Marche. And I'm Persephone Nelson of Los Angeles, California.
Hello.
This is my first time at ABF.
Welcome.
And I played a leading female role.
The Lesbian Homie 2, created and directed by Big Jaw and starring Persephone, was in the web series category. The place was packed. The series got a lot of love, and a lot of the attendees already knew who they were. After the screening, we mobbed to dinner as a unit and hit the Puerto Sagua, a local Cuban restaurant. I ordered one of my favorite and most basic Cuban foods, the Cubana sandwich. They're even better in Miami. Persephone got the shrimp scampi. It looked aight. The next day, we went to the ABFF awards ceremony. No one really got me a ticket, so I had to grab one and sit in the back like I was the ugly friend. It's all good though, I got to film, which generally isn't allowed. By the way, a black woman named Andy Janelle Leggett won the biggest award. Props.
Later on in the evening, we went to Gianni's, home of Gianni Versace, for dinner and drinks.
I don't know how we got in. It's usually all booked up, but we scored a perfect seat right by the pool. Versace, Versace, Versace. We started with a caprese salad. I got a prime filet mignon. And Persephone got a spinach and ricotta ravioli. We felt like some damn crime bosses eating here. It was fun.
The food was so good, but the vibes and architecture were immaculate.
Being spontaneous as always, we ended up in a random bar by the hotel called Karaoke at Terramana. There wasn't anyone there at first, but that didn't stop us from turning up. We ordered a tropical breeze and something called a sonic beach slap to get us right, and it slapped us all right.
I had enough drinks to get up there and perform my favorite track by Jet called Are You Gonna Be My Girl? It was a disaster, but I had fun nevertheless. After that, I worked up an appetite, so we stopped for some late night pizza, which is always a vibe.
The next day was our final day in Miami, but we had a later flight, so we decided to get some food.
We then headed to lunch at the American Grill. We topped that off with what I found to be our tastiest mango mojitos of the trip. They even came with a sugarcane stick. Amazing.
And I got a smash burger with fries. Persephone got some St. Louis ribs and some corn on the cob, which I think is wild before a plane ride. All right, now that is normally where I would say keep your bags packed, but we actually did keep them packed, and we came back to Miami 2 weeks later. So enjoy part 2 of our season finale right now. We pulled up to the Fontainebleau for the iconic Miami Swim Week. This hotel was insane. Multiple buildings and towers, a bunch of pools, and of course, the beach was right there. It was beautiful. We went down to the pool and got some whiskey mules. We walked through the pool area and crossed the path onto the Miami Beach sands. Okay, here's the thing about Miami. It can be sunny beach weather one minute and then Gotham weather the next. I mean, the sky changed drastically. You would think Thor was fighting nearby. We got inside just in time to see a storm pass. By the way, it was hot this entire time. We decided to stay within the compound. We went to Prime 54, a steakhouse in the Fontainebleau lobby. We ordered a center-cut tomahawk steak with Yukon Gold mashed potatoes and king crab. It was fire.
Better than the steak.
Oh, I'm excited.
So good.
Hold on. Butter sauce. Tomahawk butter sauce.
better than the steak, but the steak is great.
We also got a flight of all their specialty bourbon. Low-key, it all tasted like expensive medicine to me. We also had some dessert, a blueberry cheesecake that finished the meal off perfectly. The next day was the big one, Miami Swim Week. We got dressed up and headed to the runway. There was art installations and drink sponsors everywhere. We got front row VIP seats and got ready for the show.
To my surprise, I was pulled up to walk on the runway. See me showing out? Thank you, Justin, for giving me that moment.
Man, Persephone live a whole double life out here.
All of the ladies served and looked beautiful, and the designers were amazing. The next day, we booked a couples massage at Lapis Spa and Massage.
Wow, this is gorgeous.
Pat and I both agreed. The massages were mid AF. After our massages, we went to have strawberry mojitos at La Cote.
Mojitos were clearly the drink of choice on this trip. We found a random runway right on the beach that models were practicing on. It turned out to be a casting for Vogue. Steph jumped in and did her thing. All of a sudden, they brought out chairs and champagne for these judges.
I showed out, strutted, and stirred my stuff. I got a chance to talk to them afterwards, and to my surprise, they already knew me from a prior show. Unreal. We went back to the room, and if you know anything about me, you know I love to cook, so I made some chicken wings.
Honey barbecue.
The next day, we decided to switch it up and have a dim sum brunch at Hakkasan. We started with a few passion fruit bellinis that were basically like fancy mimosas. We had some crispy shrimp balls, XO shrimp and beef fried rice, and then they gave us a whole dim sum platter, which included scallop choux mein with caviar, chives and crab dumplings, shrimp and bamboo, and of course, the black pepper duck and pumpkin dumplings. There was also some soup dumplings in there.
After brunch, we booked a private yacht.
The yacht was beautiful and the captain was dope. He and his girlfriend, who was our only other crew member, made sure to give us a lot of drinks. They were trying to get us lit. I had to use my drone on the boat. I was risking it all. I'm surprised I didn't crash it into the ocean. The shots were worth it though. I somehow managed to catch the drone right out of the air. I definitely sliced my fingers up though.
Although we had all those drinks, Pat decided to get into the smaller boat and drive us around the ocean.
Miami was an incredible experience. Until next time, everybody, keep your bags packed. All right, we are back in the We Trippin headquarters. That has been the season finale, Miami.
Yeah.
And this was possibly one of our most busiest and most fun trips so far.
Very exciting. This was actually a work trip for me, as you saw, but it was the most active I think we've been on any trip that we've taken.
Absolutely. We were filming everything we could in between, which you actually had to do. It was just like, this show here, an audition here. It was a lot going on this entire time. And not only that, the weather in Miami has a lot going on.
It was so unpredictable.
Oh my God. In Miami, it was like hot beach weather. You get your umbrella, you get all your stuff, you get out there, and then you look up, thunderstorm.
It's kind of a gift and a curse for me because it was hot as hell and then it started raining, but the humidity, when I say my skin was glowing, our skin really ate out there.
It was nice. I don't really be thinking about that, but yeah,
I do.
It was nice.
I mean, I was looking like I was from Trinidad and Tobago or something.
Oh,
you
that's
know
how you felt?
I was feeling real Caribbean-ish. I was glowing. That is something that would make me move to Miami.
Well, this is crazy because, in this summer season, the only other place we returned to was Laguna.
Right.
And that's because of how close it was. One thing I want to say, don't go during the summer. I know we supposed to be giving it to them raw.
Right.
We found out that the locals of Miami,
they leave during summer.
They do.
Because it just gets too hot.
It's too hot.
It's too hot.
And then there's really no point to go to Miami in the summer because you can go to Miami in the winter and the spring and the fall where it's cold. Everywhere else is always Miami.
Shocked when I heard this because they were saying, man, Miami is like a smooth 80 degrees all year.
It was so humid. It was so humid and hot out there that we couldn't rewear any outfits. You know how sometimes you say, oh, I'll wear these jeans with this shirt and then I'll just change shirts for the next time. There's absolutely no way that you could do that in this weather and remain fresh.
It changed how I packed for certain cities because you know, I always packed way too much underwear. Like there's a funny joke going on that's like some people pack like they're gonna themselves multiple times on a trip. That's how I pack. I pack way more underwear than there is days. And now I know if the place is humid and it's a hot season, I got to do that with outfits because you could go outside in your nicest outfit, be out there for 15 minutes and your outfit is drenched and ruined. We actually split up. I joined All Def and it wasn't in Miami. We actually went up to Aventura, Hollywood area, and that's where we were shooting. You stayed. You got you a bougie hotel.
I did.
And kept the vibe going.
I needed a little peace, a little ocean peace, and some humidity all to myself.
But that's actually why this was the first episode we didn't do the sign out at the airport.
Yeah.
Because we actually didn't leave. We stayed for an extra week. This is all coming out later. We have a bonus episode. We have a couple bonus episodes this season. You know, this is the season finale, but we want to keep our people engaged. So yeah, you had a couple of days at your bougie hotel. All season we've been pairing, you know, our favorite foods, our favorite activities. So you know we got a finale season wrap up coming up that's pitting all the foods against each other, all of the activities against each other to see what our favorite summer foods and activities were. But in terms of Miami, let's just go into the foods. Let's get into these foods.
Let's get into the food. What was your favorite food?
In terms of my favorite food in Miami, I'm going to have to give it to the first day we were out there. We went to Pollos and Jarras. We got the Peruvian. It was like a platter of all of their best best prepared meats.
So they had the meats.
They had the meats like Arby's. The rotisserie chicken, the steak. It was all so good. But I think what makes what takes the cake as, you know, this is my favorite experience. They brought out heart.
Yes.
Baby cow heart.
Veal heart.
I thought we were gonna get the nightmares of the baby cows that experienced this. Man, we bit into them hearts and it was very well seasoned.
You know what? That was the wild part. I was a little nervous because I'm over here eating a right ventricle and I never anticipated.
You wouldn't think to be like,
right.
Heart.
It was a nice intro to the food for our Miami trip because they started off with a soup that tasted like chicken tortilla soup to me, and I love chicken tortilla soup.
It was so good.
It was
like a shot of soup. They gave us a shot that was soup.
Yes, it was so good. And then with the meat platter, I think my favorite on that meat platter was the chorizo. That chorizo was bussin'. Oh my God. But the veal.
Don't sleep on the Peruvian.
I'm going to say the veal, the texture, I could not get with the texture of the veal.
It was weird. You were biting into an organ, like a main character organ too, the heart. That's like the only thing that would have stressed me out more was the brain.
My favorite was Gianni's from Gianni
the
Versace.
Versace mansion. Hey.
It was like everything about it. I had the ravioli. The spinach ricotta ravioli.
So good.
Oh my God, it was so good.
So good.
It was so good. And a lot of times, sometimes when I see a place that has beautiful atmosphere, the vibes are vibing, a lot of times the food is like not really that good.
Subpar.
Sometimes they spent all of their time on making sure the vibes were good, the architecture was good, everything was good, and sometimes the food is lagging. But in this one, no, the drinks were flowing, the drinks were good, the atmosphere was amazing, and the ravioli was ravioli. As far as activities, what was your favorite activity of the Miami trip?
Activity wise, I'm gonna have to give it to the boat experience.
Oh my God, the yacht.
There was so many cool things that we got to do. The yacht was amazing because not only was it perfect weather while we did that, we got to fly the drone off of the boat. You know, obviously that came with some consequences. Totally worth it.
My top Miami experience is more of an emotional one for me.
Okay.
It was the American Black Film Festival.
Hell yeah.
Because the Lesbian Homie 2 was premiered there. They did a screening of one of the episodes.
People loved it too.
They did. So it was so amazing to see me as the lead role on a big screen. I've never seen myself on a big screen before.
Fire.
So to have an audience there laughing at the jokes, responding to my acting and just wanting to meet me afterwards, telling me how they admired the work that we've done. They were even coming up to you because they were fans of Thick Threads. And so
not a big deal, but hey, throw that in there though.
I mean, it was just a part of the experience. Ja being there, his wife.
It was so cool to see you and Big Ja on that level getting y'all flowers. It was dope.
That was amazing for me. And then even just being considered for an award for best web series was something that I never really thought that I would experience
for sure,
or something at that caliber, because the American Black Film Festival, everybody doesn't get in, so you have to really love your stuff in order to get in.
Nah, for sure.
So the fact that we got in and was nominated, people loved us, people knew who we were, as far as our work was concerned, was an amazing experience for me. A third runner-up for best activity was Swim Week.
Yep.
I mean, Swim Week was really freaking cool.
So fun.
And I even got pulled up on the runway, as you guys saw. And so it was nice to strut my stuff.
Strut your stuff.
And my little dress. Got to do a little dance in front of the Vogue photographers.
You out here perfecting the walk. You got to do it on the beach. You got to do it on the main stage. It was dope to see.
So shout out to Nava Swim for pulling me up there and giving me that little moment, because I needed it. I needed that moment.
It was dope.
Yeah.
It was very, very cool to see. It's dope to see Nava swimwear.
And they actually went viral from this fashion show for having the first little person to walk on their runway.
Well, that's cool.
So they're going viral right now. Shout out to Nava. Shout out to Justin, CEO of Nava Swim. And I got a chance to shoot with them in Miami. It's like a music video almost.
Hell yeah.
I should premiere it with us.
All right. Well, just to wrap this all up, we gotta go into the safety. The safety with Miami. Now, we kind of bounced around a little bit, but I'm not even gonna sugarcoat this. The overall crime grade is an F.
Yeah.
I've checked multiple websites. It is overall an F. Violent crimes, property crimes, assault crimes. It's tough.
It's a situation out there.
That's, if anything, it doesn't matter the specifics of the cities we say. Every time we do these, if you want to become a traveler, just be safe, keep your head on a swivel, and be aware that you are in a different spot, because that is Miami. It is different in every way.
And I have a travel hack.
Okay, hit us with it.
Miami was a trip for us where there was a lot of drinking. Yep. If you notice, mojitos after mojitos.
Star of the episode.
So he knows this about me. I like to rehydrate with electrolytes. So whenever I go somewhere, I always do an Instacart the day one, and I get Pedialyte or Gatorade.
Come on.
I get a pack of water, and then I just get some small snacks, because a lot of times those hotel bar snacks, even though they be cool, they expensive as hell. So I do day one Instacart rehydration stuff. We were sweating so much, and we had quite a bit to drink. So to keep yourself safe, as we talked about travel safety, that also includes keeping yourself hydrated. There's a lot of things that come with not keeping yourself hydrated, and it's very easy to pass out.
Big hack. You want to definitely have some stuff in the fridge for when you can't just go downstairs and buy something. But this has been the We Trippin' summer season finale We hope you liked it. I mean, this was on another level. I know we went to Laguna twice, but this was like 2 separate plane trips.
Yes.
You know, full. We thought about splitting it in half. We wanted to give it to you guys as a whole. This is the season finale, and you know, honestly, we might have some more for them. But overall, we appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Fall season coming soon. We are going to the most random places in America and finding the most fun things to do. That's my favorite part of this show. And we could not have done this without the audience that, you know, you guys really just showed up and showed out. So we appreciate you guys for an amazing summer season. This has been We Trippin. We are in the headquarters. I am Patrick Cloud.
And I'm Persephone.
And we will see you on the next season. Wink, 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 wink. It's hard to end this.
So let's not.
See you guys later.
I needed some more Miami sun and humidity, so I decided to stay a little while longer while Pat went off to work. I checked into the W South Beach and my room was amazing. Check this out. I went OD with the room service, and it was so good. I ordered a cheese quesadilla, shrimp penne pasta in pink sauce, and shrimp fried rice. Later on in the evening, I wanted to go down to have a few drinks at the bar. And I discovered this Porto wine. Oh my God, it's so good. The next day, I decided to get myself a spa massage. You know, a girl needs her R&R. I got a deep tissue massage. This is so cute. It looks like a moon. After my massage, I decided to go down to the lobby, and to my surprise, there was Mr. Chow. I ordered away. I ordered another Porto since I'm obsessed with it. I ordered some chicken satay with peanut sauce, Mr. Chow noodles. It was nasty, so I returned it immediately. Glazed prawns with walnuts, and ma mignon. My final day, I met up with Pat and the All Def crew for some beach fun and drone shots. Pat out here with the dreezy.
I flew my drone down at the beach and actually spotted the All Def squad. Look at them.
Pat and I went to have lunch and drinks at the Wet Bar and Grill.
We ordered some plátanos tostones,
I ordered some rigatoni bolognese, and it was good.
and I got some sliders, real basic. The Wet Bar was a vibe. The DJ was playing good music, and the food was good.
Later on in the evening, Pat and I decided to go down and have another drink so I could introduce him to this infamous Porto wine.
It's kind of like fruit.
I got to hang out with the DJ for a bit. She was pretty fun and played some really good music. To end my trip, I got to experience a crazy lightning storm. All in all, I'm glad I stayed and got some extra time to enjoy Miami and relax. Until next time, keep your bags packed.
I always heard about Niagara Falls, and I saw it in that one episode of The Office, but I never got a chance to go. So we decided to do a bonus trip this summer, and we flew into Buffalo, New York.
Hey! Niagara Falls is a group of 3 waterfalls at the southern end of the Niagara Gorge, spanning the border between the province of Ontario and the state of New York.
We drove over the border into Ontario. Then we checked into our hotel that overlooked the insanely beautiful Horseshoe Falls.
No way. That's wild.
3,160 tons of water flow over Niagara Falls every second. We don't really do too much on heavy travel days, so we settled in and went downstairs to Morton's Grill, a popular steakhouse.
Baked 5-onion soup.
I like soups like that. The hard top soup.
The bread.
Bye.
We ordered crispy firecracker shrimp.
Spicy.
It is.
That's what I like. Actually spicy. And we doubled up on the entree. We got the land and sea, which is lobster ravioli and some braised short rib with shiitake mushroom. Fire.
It's almost gone.
Almost. The short rib, it just dissolves in your mouth.
The next day, we walked over to the Falls View Casino Resort and headed to a local restaurant called Lucky's. The aesthetic was pretty cool. We were bougie though. We sipped a few Bellinis and then dipped. Next, we headed down to Queen Victoria Place, a quaint little spot that's all gardeny and stuff, and you can see the falls while you eat. We had a seafood croissant, which had baby shrimp and crab and stuff in it. And we also had some lobster ravioli.
We then walked down the pathway where we could see the falls. We were so close to the falls that the mist was slapping us. It was a truly breathtaking sight.
Try one for the one time. Okay.
Yeah.
We decided to walk back to the hotel. Falls View Boulevard is actually a nice little walk. We headed to dinner at the Skylon. Now, the Skylon is a restaurant that's similar to the Space Needle. It's up high. We actually didn't get reservations to the nice restaurant. We got the buffet.
We went to the Skylon for dinner, but the buffet looked a bit sketchy and picked over, so we settled for some drinks and waited for the fireworks show. We out here, 1,000 feet in the air. It's windy, we're cold. We left and found a cute restaurant at the Copacabana called La Favela.
The vibe up there was cool, so we decided to order. We got the Copa, which is a brisket pizza. And we also got the Wagyu burger. Both were amazing. Definitely glad we left the buffet.
We got up at sunrise so Pat could fly his drone over the falls. It was gorgeous.
We saw this cool alleyway, so we had to get a photo op. Keep going that way.
Later on, Pat hid the itinerary from me, so I had no idea what I was in store for.
Helicopters.
We got to ride helicopters.
Helicopter ride. I am so nervous. It should be a lot of fun. I've never rode a helicopter before, so he surprised me with a private helicopter tour.
Sit on one of these.
It was the most intense view I've ever seen and was quite scary, but man, was it good. I've never seen anything like that.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared up there too, but the views were crazy. We had lunch at a little spot called the Secret Garden. They had flowers and stuff. It was cool. We were in Canada, so we decided to try some poutine, which is fries and gravy. It's actually pretty good.
Good. I swear there was at least 1,000 people that got on this boat, but there was still enough room to navigate through, and we all wore ponchos to protect us from the wetness. The boat took us almost directly under the Niagara Falls. We felt the mist, but it was truly refreshing.
The boat ride was crazy. We went right up to the falls and they were all changing colors. It was awesome.
Once we passed the Niagara Falls, we pulled to the side and waited to see the fireworks show.
After the show, we got off the boat and headed back to the van, but the night wasn't over. Our last stop was the lighthouse that overlooked the falls. This is where they change the colors. They actually project them right onto the falls. It's crazy.
Oh, that's cool. It's so quick. I control your fate. See, had we been up here during the cruise, it would have been more lively.
They let us jump on the ones and twos and DJ. I felt like I was doing an EDM concert. We were literally changing the colors of Niagara Falls. Epic. We were so hyped and full of energy after that, we still had to go see some attractions.
We saw a crazy looking house that was upside down, so you know we had to stop.
Thank you so much. Let's do it.
Every single room was upside down.
It was very cool inside. Every room was upside down, and each room had a different color scheme. It was very cool, so you know we had some ideas to just have fun in there. My favorite room was the bathroom.
We were so hyped, and it was our last night there, so we actually ended up going down to the carnivals. Yeah, Niagara Falls has a carnival that runs 24/7. I don't know if it's 24/7. Next, we went down to the booth and purchased our tickets. This gave us access to all the attractions. We started in a castle maze, which purposely got you lost, and you had to find a bunch of towers to win. That was fun. Nice. You have captured tower 2. Hit it. It's a big ass bell. Hop the fence. Oh, it's tower number 1. Slippery when wet. Literally nothing. Oh, there's a red. What's this?
Period.
Stamp E.
Big E.
Entrance.
I don't know.
I'll lead us to justice.
Let us out of the mystery maze.
Yeah. We walked to the main street where all the attractions were, and stuff was everywhere. Wizard, golf, all types of attractions. This place is actually lit.
We then walked down the street to a haunted house that's open all year long. So we thought, it might not be too crazy. Boy, were we wrong. That was one of the most frightening haunted houses that I've ever been in.
Oh my God. Last trick, Leonard.
Come on.
Way of telling us this shit ain't scary.
Chicken exit. They chilling. Damn. Real life torture going on in here.
Are you brave enough to try to squeeze your way through the black hole claustrophobia? Big top mirror and laser maze offers all this and more!
You guys are just going to scan your tickets.
Are you brave enough?
These are these. One person is going to go for the master key, the other person's going to go for the money. These are two buttons that push together at the same time. On your way back, you're going to see two red hand buttons that will also push together at the same time. Sound good? Okay. Enter when you're ready.
We went to the Maze of Lasers, which is a game that lets you pretend like you're breaking into a vault or something. We lost. We set off every alarm.
Great job. Now each player will hold your hands on separate red hand scales. Great job. Now each player will hold your hands on. You did it. You escaped the vault. Good job.
We would have got diced up.
Right?
I would not trust us to sneak in anywhere.
Why do we have these?
Zero clue.
It's pretty creepy. Oh, I hate it. Yep.
Oh my God.
I think we were mermaids for each other. Don't you think?
We were mermaids for each other? Why do we have gloves? Man. I just keep running straight now.
Oh my God. Yo!
It looks like we're in here with a group of people. All right, stage 2.
Not a chicken exit. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey. Wow. To the black hole.
Where you gonna go?
The bonus hole.
To the bonus hole.
To the bonus hole. Oh, very cool. Let's go. You look like you're going into some butt cheeks.
This place was creepy. You don't know what's you and what's not you.
Are you real?
There's a dead end behind me.
We finally made it out of the maze of mirrors, and let me tell you, we felt accomplished.
We made it.
This was awesome because we got to look at the falls while eating lobster bisque, some crispy bao buns, and shrimp Diablo. Delicious. After we ate, we hopped in the car to head back. We crossed the border and drove back to Buffalo, New York, and hopped on the flight.
Niagara really surprised me. I had no idea there was so much to do out there, but I'm glad we went. I can't wait to see the next wonder of the world. Until then, keep your bags packed. All right, y'all. That was Niagara Falls. We're back at the headquarters.
HQ.
Oh, my God. I had such a good time.
It was surprising. Niagara Falls was a surprisingly great time. I knew the falls itself was going to be beautiful, but I didn't know what the city around the falls.
I've been to some wonders of the world, like the pyramids and the Taj Mahal, and there wasn't really anything to do around it. We kind of had to drive pretty far to get to our next destination. But here at Niagara Falls, everything was like localized. You could walk everywhere, and there was so much to do.
Yeah, Falls View Boulevard was actually really cracking. Falls View Boulevard is the main like street before you turn off and go down into the falls, and it had like restaurants, casinos, fun zones. The carnival was surprising. We didn't even really get to explore that side of town. I forget what the street was called, but the street of that had the carnival on it, and there was a whole bunch of other stuff to do.
The upside down house.
Right. There was like some projects over there. We took the wrong turn, and there was like some hoods over there. It was just like there was everything over there. The food was really good out there. The activities were pretty top tier, and more than anything, the falls, like you said, like I can only imagine what it's like looking at the pyramids. But after you look at them for a long time, you'd be like, for sure, I saw them. The Niagara Falls, it's like it's always moving. It's just constantly going, and especially like how the room had the view of the falls. It was just like you got to just kind of like stare at it.
Right.
Like, this is happening all the time.
It just feels good out there. You know, walking the pathway next to the falls and getting that mist, it cools you down a bit. And then all of a sudden, the weather is so unpredictable. It kind of reminded me of Miami.
Right.
Like we're just sitting there and all of a sudden it starts storming, raining.
Shout out to God. Cleared out all the tourists, gave us some good shots.
Yep, and we got some of the best footage after it rained.
No, very, very cool. A lot more diverse than I thought it was. I know a lot of like, people of color, since we're, working with brands now. But no, blacks. All my black friends, they're just like, I never even thought about going to Niagara Falls. It's not like, we know it's beautiful, but it's not ever really on our vacation list. And man, I would definitely go back.
Okay, so with that being said, what was your favorite activity?
This trip was pretty up there with the activities. I mean, the second to last day that we were there, we jam-packed it with probably the most activities we've ever done on a We Trippin' episode. I'm not even gonna lie, it's really, really tough for me. As much as I enjoyed watching the fireworks from the boat, I thought that was a really, really cool experience. I actually just think that DJing the lights to the falls might have been my favorite. And it's like, everything else was just like really, really dope, but that was like so one of a kind, like
the helicopters over the Niagara Falls was probably the best way to see it. The carnival, I don't really go to carnivals like that, so doing like mirror mazes and like castle mazes was insanely fun. So those are big runner-ups, and I thought it was gonna be the fireworks from the boat. But the only reason it's not was the first night we saw, they have basically like fireworks every night over the falls. So we got to see it like a couple times, and then that was like our third time from the best view possible.
Yeah, we saw it from different vantage points, but that one was wild.
But then, the DJing the lights, which was really the main reason I got the tour, was because you can't just do that unless you're on the tour.
Right.
So going up there and not only realizing that those were people doing that, I just thought it was like on a timer. But that went back really far, like to the 1800s. Like there's a picture of people in top hats. They figured out how to shine lights onto the falls, so this has been happening for a really long time, and now it's like LEDs, and we get to use an iPad and pretend like we're like, dead mouse.
We were the only ones that did that, by the way.
Because we're fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, even though it was very quick and random, it was very like one of a kind, and I didn't even know people did that.
Yeah, and so I didn't know what all was a part of our tour. So when I found out that we got to actually control the lights, I was like, yo, like this is wild.
No one was changing it as much as we were, though. Like if it was people, they weren't doing it enough. But shout out to Bob. He's like the keeper of the lighthouse. And he said that he just be getting bored and just doing it. I picture him just getting drunk. He in his drawers at 3 a.m. DJing the damn Niagara Falls lights.
I was trying to play whack-a-mole with it and make sure, like, every time the light clicked off, I tapped it to make all the lights go at the same time.
We were giving people a show.
Yeah, it was really fun.
We gave people a show.
So I could see why that was your. I'm surprised you didn't say the boat, because actually being pretty much under the falls was just crazy.
That was dope too.
But I'm not saying the boat either. My favorite activity was actually the
helis.
The helicopter.
Yeah.
The helicopter.
Nah.
Oh.
That was dope.
Dope is, man, that's not even the word. It was frightening. When the wind hit us and like shook us a little bit, and then it started kind of beeping, I was like, you know? But that was my first time on a helicopter. And I didn't have time to prepare because this was a surprise.
So I was all nervous and stuff, and she was like, "What are we doing?" And I was like, "Oh, let me just get myself together." Didn't let her get herself together.
No, we drove, and I said, "Oh, there's a helicopter." I still had no idea that that's what we were doing. But I'm kind of a like thrill junkie, so I had a lot of fun. I didn't need too much preparation for it because
I think it was like the best way to see it too, because like there's a very fixed vantage point of the falls. You know, if you don't know, there's a side on Canada and a side on America. The side is the horseshoe. Right. The Canada side is the horseshoe. Right. And then the American side, I forget what it's called, but it's kind of just like a straight line. It's like a strip.
Yeah.
It didn't look fun to us, so we didn't go.
Those
Everybody
look like
says the
smaller,
Canadian side was better.
And you can see the rocks at the bottom.
They're very cool up close. But my point is that the people basically see them from, the ground. And, from our hotel was high up and it was beautiful, but the helicopter lets you see what's behind the falls. Right. It lets you see what the falls go to. It like little different falls that are kind of like off to the side. And it's really just like the best way to experience it. If you do make it out to Niagara Falls, that would probably be my number one suggestion over the boat, because it's more my vibe than the boat too. I like getting close to it and getting like splashed, but between the people and the wetness, I like the aerial view.
We were flying over the waterfalls, and then we saw other waterfalls and lakes that we didn't even know was out there. So it was just wild to see it from an aerial perspective, because I've never done this before. I've never been on a helicopter before this.
I'm glad the surprise landed.
It was amazing. You did a great job.
And it was also for me. Right. All right, let's get into these foods. Niagara Falls, actually, they brought out the foods. They had a couple spots that we just had appetizers at that were fire. We tried poutine, a Canadian classic. That was really good. What was your top Niagara Falls food?
I think it might have been the first night at Morton's.
Morton's was
You had ordered the firecracker shrimp.
So good.
and I ordered that baked 5-onion soup.
Now it's weird to share soup. But she did let me have a spoonful,
and a few.
I had a couple more. It was very good. I don't know who orders French 5-onion soup.
Me, but it was
so good.
It was phenomenal.
I loved it. I mean, the lobster ravioli was amazing. The braised. We've been getting really lucky with braised beef. And they had the mushrooms and all that stuff. That was very, 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 very good. That was actually up there in the season. Niagara Falls doesn't really count against the summer stuff, but I feel like these foods would have probably messed with some of Cabo's and
for sure
some of Miami's too, which is surprising.
We ate good out there.
We definitely ate very, very, very good. I think I'm gonna have to go with La Favela.
Okay.
Which was the rooftop spot we went to after the bust of Skylon.
Okay.
Because I think that us getting ready to go to dinner, we were hungry. We sat down. We didn't get you have to really get those Skylon, like the real restaurant, because the buffet is kind of just open to everybody.
Right.
And I'm not no shade, but we saw why immediately. It was very the tables were super close together. We were just
it was very crowded.
Very crowded. The buffet was not buffeting.
The buffet just looked really picked over.
Yeah.
It looked really leftover-ish. So
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. It might sound bougie, but I did buffets every now and then before COVID. Not the hugest fan, but when I was a little kid, I used to do the Sizzler buffet. I thought it was bussin'.
It was.
With the birth of social media and seeing people spitting and sipping out of the things and touching things and putting it back, I kind of fell off to it. I never really was into the $10 all you can eat random spots. But if it looked nice, I would do it. Since COVID, it's kind of shot. I just need my stuff individualized. It's enough for me thinking one person is cooking it and over it the whole time. Hundreds? No, can't do it. So I say all that to say that we were kind of in the mood to eat. We were very disappointed, but I thought we were just going to find some place that was open, and we ended up getting brisket pizza and that burger that was made of Wagyu beef. That was so good.
What also was very good about Niagara Falls is that it was crowded at times, but we were still able to do the things that we wanted to do. So when we went to the carnival area, it wasn't that crowded, so we got to do everything.
It was 2 a.m.
It was really cool to be able to do all that stuff and not be flooded with people. So that's a little bit of a hack. Maybe if you guys go out there and you want to do stuff and not have to wait in line, you might want to go a little bit later to let the crowds die down.
Well, honestly, I think that the hack is just seeing what we do and booking that ahead of time. We're kind of doing this impromptu. This is as we go. Obviously we couldn't get the Skylon. That was booked the whole weekend, so we had to settle for the buffet. But silver lining is we kept it in there to show you guys that you'll probably have some openings for the buffet. Don't do it if you're going to Niagara. Just book ahead all of these things so you know that you can, because a lot of times we're getting lucky. It's day of what you got. Oh, for sure. And it just works out perfectly. But we want to leave it in if it doesn't work out perfectly, so you guys can plan accordingly.
Right.
Let's get into this. Let's get into these safety tips.
Yes, let's hear it.
This is interesting to me. While we were out there, I felt very safe.
I did too.
I felt really, really safe. We were walking around. We were in the very, touristic and crowded areas. So I could see any tourist area is going to have crime. So I have a couple of websites that have different things to say about it, and I'm gonna focus really on the really statistic ones, the really nice ones that's just it's great, everybody come through. I don't really trust those, but apparently Niagara Falls is about that ish.
Oh, what?
It says Niagara Falls has one of the highest overall crime rates of any U.S. city. For comparison, the total national crime rate, according to 24/7 Wall Street, 2,489 incidents for every 100,000 people. Niagara Falls' overall crime rate is 175% higher than the overall crime rate in New York.
No. Oh, so we was out there on some.
But then you have to break down what type of
crimes.
Okay.
Property crime is crazy out there. It's
Okay.
very, very big. Violent crime happens out there, but it's not as prominent.
Okay.
But between
New York got the violent crime.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Locked down.
But property crime, larceny, burglary, motor vehicle theft, that's all pretty prominent in there. Violent crime, assaults, all that. Violent crime is there.
Is this from both sides, the Canadian side and the U.S. side?
So yes, so a lot of this is from both, and I did look at some comparisons because I was thinking like Canada's going to be crazy safe and America isn't. It was pretty down the middle, like I saw some statistics that was like how safe is it to walk around during the day, and both of them were pretty good, and then the night was like 47 and 46. Like it was pretty down the middle. I personally would recommend the Canadian side, but we haven't been to the American side. But
when you do your research, there's nowhere that's going to say to go to the American side over the Canadian side. So
yeah, in terms of activities, I like this website. It's Area Vibes, areavibes.com. Cool. They gave it an overall C+, and I feel like that's
okay.
According to our personal experience, we might have been like, hey, we were out at night, blah, 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 blah. But statistically speaking, and with all of the research I combined, that seems about fair.
Okay.
C+.
Okay. All right.
What about your skin tuition? This is a little preview of what we're doing in fall.
Yeah. So I felt good. I felt like everyone was very kind.
Just for reference, skin tuition is how we feel as people of color in a random city like Niagara Falls, Ontario. So we will definitely get more into that in the fall season, but sorry, keep up.
But yeah, so I felt good, and my skin tuition is really strong. So typically if I go somewhere and I get a vibe that I might not want to be here, I will be quick to tell you, like, let's go.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't too bad. Everybody was very, very nice to us that we interacted with, and added peace of mind. It's not what you would think in terms of like the diversity. There's a huge populations of people from all over the world. We saw a lot of people from India, a lot of people from Africa, a lot of people from different parts of Asia, and it's like people are coming from all around the world to see this thing. So
it was a melting pot.
There's some people, some natives that are like brown people, but for the most part we didn't see anybody get disrespected. We didn't see anybody get attacked. We didn't have that experience for ourselves. So
and then I guess my Persephone's travel hack would just be we've started changing our itinerary to where we don't really plan anything the first day. The first day, I think, is so important for us to just gather ourselves and figure out how we want this trip to go. So I would say if you are going to book a flight somewhere, use that first day to kind of like organize everything that you want to do, because it really does help us kind of get into the flow of things for the next day. We get to relax, we get to chill, we get to eat in the hotel. We kind of don't put too much on us for the first day, because a lot of times, our bodies are not acclimated to the new environment that we're in, and sometimes we just push, and then the next day you're tired as hell, you don't want to do anything, you're missing, your appointments and everything. So I would say take that time, look up the different food places once you get out there. Maybe go downstairs and talk to the bartender, talk to some of the locals, and see.
There's a fun part of it of like just being open. You don't want to. I think we're planning less and less things because when you're a slave to an itinerary, you're based on how you feel and what you find out about. Like there have been times in future episodes where we had such a schedule that we were like, damn, this next thing, like they were like they were going into each other. We were tired, and it's just like you don't want to be slave to your own itinerary. So it is good to leave some looseness.
Yeah, give yourself the gift of relaxation.
I like that. My travel hack would be get a hotel where you can see the falls. That is really a big part of the trip. I did notice that like if you're like far away from it or you can't see it, obviously you're gonna want to keep going to the falls and taking pictures, and it's gonna be a lot of people down there. It's gonna be wet. If you can get and it doesn't have to be like a super high up, crazy room, but there's a bunch of hotels that face it, and it's huge. So if you can get a nice little view where you're constantly being able to look at it, you'll get the most out of the trip, and you won't have to feel pressured on going there all the time. Yeah.
Because I definitely took some time to just sit and watch it out of the window.
Yep. All right, so this has been Niagara Falls, the bonus episode.
Hey.
I know we keep coming back, but this time we're for real. I've been Patrick Cloud.
And I'm Persephone.
And we will see you when the leaves starts changing. Bye. Later, guys.
500